Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. How are you? How have you been? How's your work week? Your weekend is almost officially over. So, what did you do to add some play, fun, joy, laughter to your weekend? We know you work hard. What did you do this weekend? Please share with me in the comments. What did you do for play, fun, joy, laughter? Did you go to a play? Did you go to a concert? Did you have some family time? Did you go out in nature? Did you crochet? Did you game? Please, I would love to know. Share with me below. What did you do this weekend to manage your stress? If you haven't so far, you still have some hours before work starts tomorrow, right? We want to jump out of bed when our alarm goes off because work is our contribution to the world. So we want to be excited about it. And if we're not, it means we are not managing our stress and we are not playing as hard as we work, and it is our responsibility. So, one of the ways to reduce stress is through reading. So, every Sunday, I like to do a book review on the books that I'm reading. I try to read a book a week, so 52 a year, and so I am going to try to do a book review on the books, at least that I believe really matter or would be beneficial to you to improve your overall profits and well being. And so this book that we're doing is a part three, and the book is called Unstressable. And this will be part three. As you can see, as I read, or I just make little markers of things that I would like to talk to you about, or things that trigger information that I think is beneficial to you. And so, what I'm going to do is go through all of these little tabs and just talk about what is important about this note that will be beneficial to you. So, right now we are on page 21, and this is my fourth one, little tab that I have, and it's on a paragraph that says, there must be hundreds of different approaches to attacking stress and anxiety, from the spiritual to the scientific, from the mind to the soul, the physical body to our energetic forms, from the logical to the holistic, from our thoughts to our emotions. I researched them all. And I want to say, I did too. When I worked in corporate America, I had dreams just like everyone else of climbing the corporate structure, getting to the top, making a difference within a company, sharing and contributing my best self to the world. But the stress just wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't set up that way. Corporate America, and everyone around me was so very stressed that it just caused anxiety and panic attacks for me. On Sundays, I would be depressed. When the leader opened her door, I would go into panic attacks. I would have to escape to the bathroom or the parking deck or the staircase just to um, kind of calm myself down. It was a very toxic work environment. We had high turnover. So we always had new teams. And it was a very small company. It was less than 100 employees, but each month they had a monthly newsletter. It was at least four people who left, two people who came in. It was just a very bad, toxic environment. And I knew that I was not going to survive. I was starting to get depressed. I was having so many different like physical symptoms. It was interfering with my sleep. I was getting headaches. I had stomach digestion issues. I didn't have a lot of mental clarity. It was just, I was gaining weight. It was just not good. My mood was going up and down throughout the day. I will be wary all throughout the day. And so I started researching different ways to manage stress. So I first started with looking at ways to manage stress in the RDU area, right? Because I was thinking socially, what are any social events out there that I can go to that directly focuses on stress management, and there weren't any, right? And so that was like, aha, here's an opportunity to fill a gap. But then I started to research the theories on how to manage stress because there weren't any practical applications of it. So in theory, how do we manage stress? And from different industries, I picked out, things like diet, movement, yoga, meditation, laughter, deep breathing, play, So there were many different theories on how to reduce stress. And we know that they work individually. And we know that if you incorporate these practices in your life, that they work, but they haven't been tested in very practical environments, right? They haven't been tested like when you're stressed out in that moment, you go and exercise and it decreases cortisol. So it hadn't been tested that way. Although we know overall exercising decreases cortisol, how does it help with practical application? So for me, I was pulling so much different information from many different industries, and I was like, this is a lot of information. No wonder people just ignore stress, or they act like it doesn't exist, or they just kind of deal with it even though it's not beneficial and not making them feel like that they are thriving and not just surviving. They really have no alternative. With all the information out there, you have a jam-packed schedule, life is already busy, you just don't have the time to figure out how to practically apply what you learn. And so I went from all different, um, ways of or approaches of attacking stress, from spiritual, where they talk about believing in something bigger than you, which I think is very important, because it is very stressful to walk through this world thinking that you have to do it all on your own, that you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, and everything that you will or won't do is up to you, right? And that people have the ability to stop you from what you are here to do and who you're here to become. Believing in something bigger than you gives you the grace and the freedom to just be, to explore life, to take the lessons, to show up seriously but not take it as serious, right? To play as you are experiencing life. Scientific, like I said, there's so much information, from diet to exercise to meditation to reading to journaling to stretching. There's so much information out there that they know that these practices do reduce stress and cortisol, just not, it just hasn't been tested in practical experiences. And so that was a big thing for me. It's like, yes, okay, but I don't have enough time to journal. I don't have enough time to exercise. So how do I incorporate that into an already busy life? And then again, stress is one of those things that when you experience it, it impacts many aspects of your life. So mentally, when you are experiencing stress, you have so much mental chatter, you have lack of clarity, lack of focus, and you can't concentrate. You start making poor decisions. It's because you are stressed out. Stress impacts your mind, and we don't necessarily think about it like that, right? We don't think about decision fatigue. We don't think about the things or the consequences of experiencing chronic stress with our mind. As far as our soul, that's again tied to spirituality. We don't think about how ignoring stress, withdrawing, or just not dealing with stress, how it is weighing on our soul, how we are showing up to these very stressful environments that are not good to our for our health, or being around people who are not good for our soul, who do not make us feel seen, heard, respected, or cherished, but we show up anyway, and we don't realize how these stressors are impacting our soul. Our physical body, like I said, many of us have symptoms and we don't even realize that they're tied to stress. We may not be sleeping well. We may have headaches. We may have weight gain. We may have pains and aches. We may be experiencing depression. There are so many things that we may be experiencing physically that we don't even think is tied to stress, but it absolutely is. Up to 90% of visits to doctors are for stress related symptoms. So 9 times out of 10, most times it is stress related. We think we're not experiencing stress, or it's not anything that we can do about the stress that we're experiencing, but that is false. Energetically, you know what that's like. It's like you feel good and then you don't feel good. You feel like you can conquer the world and then you don't. You feel high energy where you can run around and take care of what you need, and then there's low energy where you feel like you just want to lay in the bed all day. And so stress can impact your energy, and the energy that you don't have to take care of what you need to, or the energy that you do have that you can't figure out what to do with. And then logically, like I said, it's hard to make decisions when you are stressed out. It's hard to make the best decisions for you when you are stressed out. And holistically, your body is a machine, and it isn't any isolated part. Like stress does not impact your family life, but don't impact work. Stress does not impact work, but don't impact your, social relationships. Stress is the thread of life. It impacts every last aspect of life. And so you have to be holistic in understanding what it is, training to manage your stress, and you have to practice it every single day. It has to be non-negotiable. It needs to be a priority and very preventative in how you attack, managing your stress or eliminating daily stress. And so again, it's so much information out there that it feels like information overload. I know it was for me. I am a researcher and I absolutely love taking on information that can help benefit my life, help free me. But I found that taking on the stress information initially kind of felt overwhelming because it was just too much theory and not enough practical application. And I just couldn't take the theory and put it inside of a context that served me, right? It's like, yes, I know these things, but how do they apply to my life? And so taking the time to learn about stress, to train on practices that are effective, and creating the communities around me where I could practice in my most stressful time was a game changer. And so, testing my stress reduction program and making sure that it is effective for managing stress in all different contexts, from the entrepreneur down to the lowest level employee, was very important because the information of how to manage your stress need to be able to be applied to many different contexts within the work environment, whether you are a CEO and you are managing a lot of people, or you're just an employee and managing yourself. And so I tested, you know techniques from different approaches that are easy to apply regardless of the stressor, the challenge, the circumstance that you are in. And so I think it is very beneficial for us to start thinking about what stress is. What is it? Like learning what it is and learning how it impacts our mind, body, and soul, and train in different, modalities and approaches and practices on how to eliminate stress, not just tolerate it, but adapt to it, integrate it, eliminate it, so that it's no longer a stress in your life. You want to go see how long you can go without managing stress, whether that's an hour, a day, a week, a month. You do not want to be experiencing chronic stress every single day. It is not beneficial to your health. And so one of the great things about being on the forefront of teaching stress management is it's still so new. It is a new and young industry. A lot of us don't necessarily know what a stress management coach is and what they do, or how it can be applied to your life or applied in any context. But it is so important because stress is one of those things that every human will experience, and they will experience different magnitudes or different levels of stress throughout their life, whether it's just personal stress, daily hassles, cataclysmic events. We will all go through different stresses in our lives, and we're not necessarily taught how to manage stress, right? We learn so many things. We learn for a career. We learn many things in life that are not useful, but we do not learn about stress, although stress impacts every aspect of our life. So again, please share with me below, what do you know about stress? Did you do any research? Did you learn about stress as a child? How does stress impact your mind, body, and soul, physically, emotionally? I would love to know. And what are you doing every single day to make sure that you are managing your stress so that you can be your best self and show up as your best self? So thank you so much, Work Life Warriors. As always, I am always on this in the streets trying to give the information that we need, bring awareness to what stress is and why it's so important that we manage our stress. And I will see you tomorrow for Monday Stress Management Well Chat. And then next Sunday, I will be, I guess, part 4, or I've read multiple books, so you will have another book review come next week. But in the meantime, I would love to know what your thoughts are. Starting January the 5th, we will have a Brain Train book club community, so it is free to join. It is Sundays at 5 o'clock. Check out my website or my social medias or Zoom to get a ticket, or the Zoom link. We are going to discuss a new book each month. January's book is Who Moved My Cheese. It's a short book. It's about 45 minutes. to an hour read, and then we're going to discuss the discussion questions. So please sign up for that. I would love to create a book club community. Reading is a great way to reduce stress and cortisol. It's a way to boost your confidence, improve your vocabulary. It has so many health and wellness benefits. So together we're going to utilize this practice to improve the overall quality of our lives. So I hope this helps, work life warriors. I will see you tomorrow. Have a